Hello and welcome to the British Dapper. Today we're looking at what men wear to a funeral. So recently a dear friend got in contact with me to let me know that another dear and close friend had just passed away and that there would be a funeral to be held. And so that's prompted this video insofar that it's talking about what to wear for a funeral. The wearing of black as an example to funerals was really all the way back to Roman times, where people wear darker coloured togas to respect and mourn for the dead. And obviously the Roman Empire, as it expanded throughout Europe, spread that philosophy as well. And even to this day, people still wear black at a funeral. It's something to consider is actually a funeral is becoming fewer and far between now. A funeral is a service where there is a body present. For example, there is a coffin and there is a body in that. And that is considered a funeral. Whereas if the body is not present, or we're talking about a cremation, then we talk about it as a memorial service or a remembrance of that person. So depending on where you live in the world and also on your religion, depends on how you celebrate or mourn the dead. I come from the UK and we're pretty much the same as North America and most of Europe, in that we tend to pay our respects wearing black or dark suits, a black tie, white shirt, maybe a very simple folded handkerchief, and that's the sort of thing that we would wear traditionally to a funeral. However, there are some points that we need to observe, and one of the first ones is what was their preference. So for example, if they have never subscribed to having a somber event for their funeral but they wanted a lively event, they might suggest wear bright colours or Hawaiian themes, or it could be to the other extreme where it's they want a more solemn and more formal event. And if that's the case, then we are talking about black tie, dark suit, and a more somber occasion. So it's also a case of what their relatives and loved ones wanted for the ceremony as well. It's very important to remember that this service and the remembrance or the funeral service is not about you at all. It's actually about the ones that are left, the other family members, and being respectful and mindful and in remembrance of your relationship with the departed. And so when it comes to that, then everything is conservative. I would always suggest, if possible, send a card of condolence or a letter of condolence, expressing your wishes and that you mourn for the person that they've lost and you are there to support them. That's one way of showing your loyalty to not only the departed but also respect and support for those that remain. Something else you can do is make a contribution of flowers. Now a lot of funerals now, they don't necessarily want flowers. They'd prefer to have a contribution to a charity or an organisation that was dear to the departed. And so it's mindful and worth doing is to find out a little bit more before you attend the funeral. That's if it's possible. Now, sometimes the death notice will actually identify where the service is, the time of the service, and also maybe the expectation of people attending. For example, no flowers, contribution to a charity, the name of that charity, and the charity number, as an example. Or it could even be to the extent of a dress code. If it's a very formal event, even a state funeral, a military funeral, then the chances are it would be formal and it would be a specific dress code applied to that. If it's a family funeral, just be mindful of the people that are attending, because you are only there in support of them. You're not there to take the limelight. Your outfit shouldn't really command that stage, if you like. That would be wrong. So just be mindful of that. And after the event, sometimes there is a wake or a celebration. And when you have those sort of celebrations, whilst there might be alcohol available, just be respectful of those people attending that service, and I'd advise you not to drink too much. Maybe have a little drink in celebration or to mourn the person that's passed, and talk to individuals, offer your support and help if need be, and respectfully depart. So there are a couple of little things that we need to discuss, and that is in relation to religion. Different religions have different practices, and if you're going to somebody's funeral that you don't know much about, it would be really wise to ask somebody that is of that faith, or a family member before you attend, because in some countries a black tie is not the colour for a funeral. Sometimes it's a white tie, and certain colours as well when it comes to clothing and other items. For example, some countries yellow reflects the sun, and when it comes to flowers, and if we're talking about a Jewish funeral, they don't have flowers at the funeral. They don't present flowers. So just be very careful with things like that. It's very easy to be disrespectful without even knowing that you've done it. So it would be wise to talk to individuals first and then accommodate what they say. For example, if there is a specific dress code, then dress to that code. Don't turn up in jeans and t-shirts and sandals or shorts unless there's a specific request for that. It could be considered really disrespectful to the departed and to the family that are attending if you turn up inappropriately dressed for the occasion. So this video is created really just to give advice and some pointers, if you like, things to consider. And this is also to celebrate the life and death of my friend Ian. His nickname is Wit. I won't divulge the surname, but this is in remembrance of him and to celebrate his life. So if you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, and if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, then please feel free to do so. We always like constructive comments, so if you'd like to make a comment, please put those below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And if you want notifications, then click on the bell, and we look forward to hearing from you. So until next time, take care.